Welcome back, everybody, for another round of Charlie Brown politics. And this is my co host for the night, Jack Kennedy. Now, I want to continue talking about Palestine and Israel. One of my favorite people that discuss this issue is Bassem Youssef. I've done a few videos on him before, but if you don't know who he is, he's an Egyptian comic that has rose to the spotlight on this issue after going on Piers Morgan's show and doing a very witty satire comedic uh, role to express his argument with this issue, and it was very powerful. Got millions of views, lots of people viewed it all around the world. Now, Bassem goes back onto another podcast. He goes back onto Andrew Cuomo's podcast. For those of you who don't know who Cuomo is, he's an old CNN host that was let go for allegations put upon him. Now, there's a bunch of clips from this interview that I want to show you guys, or at least a few of them. And it's Bassem going to be pushing back against some of the pro-Zionist talking points that Andrew Cuomo presents to him during this discussion. So without further ado, please let me go ahead and bring up the first clip. So pull over here. Just give me 1 second, everybody. Boom. Sorry. No, Jack, no.
Chris Cuomo project.
Hey, bud.
Bassem Youssef, okay? Look him up. He was called the Jon Stewart of Egypt, and that is high praise, but he is more than that. We're going to have a conversation today that's going to make a lot of people uncomfortable, but for the right reasons. This is not...
Yep, you heard that right. I just had to throw that in there. If you don't know, it was sexual misconduct allegations thrown upon him. So for him to start the story off like that was just too good. So the first thing that I want to show you is going to be Cuomo coming at Bassem with the pro-Zionist talking point. Why doesn't the neighboring countries of Gaza take in the Palestinian refugees? This question gets brought up, and the answer that Bassem gives to Cuomo, I think, is very powerful and pretty much just dismantles that question in general. So let's go ahead and watch.
Rationale of it is, and your home country gets involved. Early on, I was just told this again, I think maybe last night on my show. Egypt didn't want the Palestinians. Nobody in the region wanted the Palestinians. The unspoken truth of the Arab Brotherhood is that the Palestinians don't really count and are disrespected. And Egypt said they can't come here because we have too many. Jordan said, we're like all Palestinians here. They can't come here. And that is the counter narrative.
Okay, I can answer that counter narrative.
Although Egypt did say early on, but we're not saying they can't. We're saying they shouldn't have to because they have a home.
You see, this is, again, one of the talking points that get repeated and people don't know the reality behind it. People say, like, Arab people do not accept Palestinians. First of all, there are 2.5 million Palestinians in Jordan already. There are 4,600 Palestinians in Lebanon already. There are 5,900 people in Syria already. Egypt, my wife has had like a refugee document. So we have many, but we don't count them. You know why? Because we don't treat them as refugees. We treat them as part of the country, right? So Saudi Arabia, UAE, Kuwait, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians. We've already taken a lot, but when we take them, we basically allowing Israel to do what they want, which is evacuating the land from Israel. And the whole thing about like, we're killing them, why don't you take them, is like you going out in the street, shooting someone in the face, and you're angry at your neighbors for not burying him. It's crazy. It's like that you're basically blaming the people that don't want to take them, but you don't blame the side of the conflict that's doing the killing. It's madness. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. I also don't think...
And also for Israel, I'm Israeli. Let's say some miracle. Egypt says today, all right, let's take them. 2.2 million people goes into the Sinai. They have access to the sea. What do you think these 2.2 million, they're going to just sit there? They're going to retaliate, try to come back. They're going to have the sea open for them now. They're going to have Israel like controlling. This is going to be the Egyptian problems. And then
spreads like an infection.
And then they're going to have weapons. They're going to have an open desert in the Sinai. Is this safer for Israel?
Right. Everywhere's
So, couple great points by Bassem, right? Excuse me. Is this really safer for Israel? That's going to be the first question. If we put all the refugees in Egypt and then they have access to the sea. That's the first point. The second point is going to be that all these neighboring countries have already taken in a lot of refugees. And then why is everyone getting pissed off at the countries that aren't taking the refugees instead of the country that is making the refugees? Make it make sense. It doesn't. Okay, so great points, great things. The next clip that I want to bring up, okay, is going to be Bassem and Andrew are going to be talking about the idea of a greater Israel. What is a greater Israel? Well, it's the idea of Israel expanding its borders to its biblical state. Now, it has been said that people within Israel's government want to expand further, and a lot of people, pro-Zionist people, saying no, that's not true, that's not true. But leaders, top officials within the government have, kind of spilled the beans on this and proven that Israel does have a want to expand its borders. I'll get into the receipts in a little bit, but let's listen to the conversation that Bassem and Andrew have.
Israel?
Yeah, the Likud Party chart in 1977. Haven't you read it?
But it's not who's using it now.
You wanna hear? It says
But
like this:
doesn't matter who's using it and how.
the rights of the Jewish people in the land of Israel is eternal and indisputable, and it is important for and it connects to the right of our peace and security. Therefore, Judea and Samaria will never be handed to a foreign administration. From the sea to the Jordan, there will only be Israeli sovereignty. We just make it rhyme better.
You make it rhyme better. But it's like,
have you read it? But the thing is, this is what Israel does. They do stuff and they project it on you. Those people who are chanting from the river to the sea, Palestinian, and you can't blame the people for chanting for that because they're desperate. They don't have a superpower supporting them. They don't have the international media supporting them. And all of them can see, and they go and shout and they chant in the streets. But the official charter of Israel, the official people, they're talking about from the rivers to the sea, greater Israel. So how can you compare people in the streets or Facebook by the official stand of the Israeli government?
Israel is not trying to expand its borders into Turkey and Iraq, and that's not going to happen. Okay.
Well, we thought. We thought that Gaza was not going to happen, and we thought that we thought that the illegal settlement would not expand that much.
This has been happening since Israel was formed, in one way or another.
Okay.
And I believe it's a situation where the problem has always worked better than.
Okay, let's not let it get too far ahead. So, Cuomo goes and says that Israel has no intention in expanding its borders. Well, let me just play a video and that disputes this, okay? So this is Israel's finance minister, I can't say his name, has provoked outrage. Why has he provoked outrage, you might ask? After he spoke in Paris behind this map of Greater Israel. It included the occupied Palestinian territories, Jordan, and parts of Syria. The Greater Israel Project genocide is now being promoted in open. The Israeli settler minister of finance spoke displaying a map annexing Palestine, parts of Syria, Lebanon, and all of Jordan. This shouldn't surprise anyone. It's their ideology. The minister is a far-right settler who backs... Sorry, let me go back. Oh my goodness, I apologize. Alright, you guys probably read it. Of illegal Israeli settlements in the West Bank. In that Paris speech, he said that the Palestinian people were an invention. There is no such thing as Palestinians. There is no such thing as a Palestinian people. The Jordanian Foreign Ministry condemned the podium map and summoned the Israeli ambassador. Israel's government said it was committed to its 1994 peace deal with Jordan. So there you have it. The finance minister got up there with the Greater Israel map behind him, and he got up there and talked about expanding its borders in that speech as well. And it was very inhumane towards the Palestinians. Okay, and so here's a little bit more that I found online. And so right here is a map of the Greater Israel, and you can see that this map, I guess it comes back. They get the map from biblical times. Forgive me if I'm wrong on that. I could be. I don't think I am. But and so you see how this isn't just Palestine, right? This stretches out into parts of Lebanon, to Syria, to Jordan, and to Egypt. And look at that. They even want a little bit of Saudi Arabia down there. Now, this was supposed to just kind of be like a myth, but a lot of people that have been arguing against Zionism, against the pro-Zionists, have been saying that no, this is really what they actually want. Now this foreign leader or this finance minister comes out and pretty much spills the beans on it. So let me read a little bit of this. The Jewish state was founded on the basis of an ancient biblical map, and to this date, the Jewish state still refuses to declare its borders in favor of future expansion. There is nothing like this biblical map to send shivers among Arabs and Muslims, since its borders span the occupied West Bank, including occupied East Jerusalem, occupied Gaza Strip, southern Lebanon, and the western parts of Jordan and southern Syria, including the occupied Golan Heights. The Jewish Agency at the Evian Conference in 1938 demanded that the borders of the future Jewish state include Jordan as well, and when the Winston Churchill removed the east bank of the River of Jordan from the promised Balfour Declaration, Zionists registered their strongest objections. The Likud Party dropped Jordan from being part of Israel only in the early 1970s. Here, its old emblem, ironically, the finance minister, as of March 2023, resurrected the old emblem, old habits die hard. So there you go. There's a little bit of history behind that, and to show you that, we thought that, they were going to stay out of Gaza. We thought that Israel was going to stay out of the West Bank, but little did we know, or, that they just needed a boogeyman. Now, look at the West Bank where there is no Hamas. Now there are reports of Hamas increasing, so it's just a matter of time before they do what they're doing to Gaza, to the West Bank. So another great point there by Bassem. Guys, there's a lot of great clips throughout this whole video. Go check it out. Actually, let me just go ahead and pull up one more clip. I got one more clip for you. I was going to not show it to you guys, but let's just go ahead and do that. Sorry, let me pull that up. Okay. So this last clip is going to be Bassem Youssef talking about how he just refuses this time to not vote for Joe Biden. So this right here should be a clip that scares the vote blue no matter who crowd a whole crap load, because a lot of people are going to be expressing and mimicking the same feelings that Bassem has over this. So let's go ahead and watch.
As much as I'm one of those people, I would vote blue no matter who. I will never give my voice to Biden after what he's done.
So then what do you do? If you're blue no matter who, and the who is Biden and you won't vote for him, what do you do?
I would sit that one out, seriously. It's crazy because I became an American citizen in this country, and I'm so happy to vote. And it took America 4 years to get checked out of the elections. Because if you are continue supporting a daily killing there, and you're not even like wanting to put the slightest effect to stop the killing, why would I vote for you? And then they come back and they blackmail us. It's like, but reproductive rights. At least if a woman in Tennessee cannot have reproductive, she can travel to California, New York to do it. Those people in Gaza have nowhere to go. So and it's always been like the Democratic Party blaming the minorities because the Democratic Party gave us the promise that we are on your side. But in reality, they are not, because here you have a war, 27,000 kids, 27,000 Palestinians killed, 100,000 being injured, 70% of the homes. You did this show with Abdul Jabbar, the father, and you gave him the space, and I really appreciate and this guy is an American citizen. He's not even in Gaza, and his son was killed for throwing, and he's not even throw the stone. And even if he throw a stone, he should not be killed.
So there you have it. There was Bassem talking about how he will not be voting for Joe Biden no matter what, and how can you blame him? So will the Democrats listen to this and take heed? Probably not. Okay, I know that there are a lot of Muslim Americans in top key swing states that are mimicking this same feeling. And so how will this turn out in the overall election? Who knows? I'm terrible at predicting these types of things. So, like I said, lots of great stuff throughout that whole interview. Go check out the entire thing. It's about an hour and a half long. It's a great discussion. I really don't like Andrew Cuomo all that much. I guess I really don't know too much about him except that he worked for CNN. And for me, that's a big enough red flag for me to have somewhat of a bad taste in my mouth about that guy. No pun intended, Cuomo. But without further ado, guys, let me know what you're thinking. Please give a comment, like, share, subscribe. I'm trying to get this channel going. And I will catch you on the next episode of Charlie Brown Politics. Later, everybody.